And we're following the growing fallout from the shutdown of Spirit Airlines. The carrier ended operations on Saturday, leaving thousands of travelers stranded and thousands of workers without jobs. For more on this, I want to bring in Alison Sider. She is a reporter for the Wall Street Journal. Alison, so much to break down here, but we'll start with this. Why did that Trump administration Spirit Airlines rescue effort fail?
The rescue effort, the talks over the rescue effort ran into problems because the bondholders that had sort of agreed to help Spirit come out of bankruptcy and the Trump administration kind of couldn't get on the same page about sort of the terms of the aid. Some of the bondholders felt that, giving the Trump administration the ability to take the government and the ability to take a huge stake in the airline would leave them a lot worse off economically, and they might be better off recovering in a liquidation. There's also disagreement within the Trump administration about whether and how Spirit could be given this bailout. And ultimately, there just wasn't time. Spirit was running out of cash as, dealing with high fuel prices, and it sort of just got to be the end of the line.
So let's talk about the fuel price crunch that has been turning into a disaster for airlines. Could we see a ripple effect throughout the rest of the industry?
Well, yeah, all the airlines are dealing with really high fuel prices that are twice as high as what they were expecting at the start of the year. And, they're trying to manage that by raising fares. So we're already seeing fares that are like 20% higher, but they're still not covering the full cost increase that they've seen. So we're seeing airlines cut back on routes, flying that would have been profitable at the lower jet fuel prices and now aren't profitable. And, we're seeing a lot of airlines feeling that stress. Some of the bigger airlines are saying this is very manageable for them, but some of the other budget airlines also went to the administration and asked for government funds to help them manage these higher costs.
And Alison, Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy actually commended other airlines for stepping up over the weekend. Let's take a listen.
I'm proud of the American airlines that have stepped up to take care of the passengers of Spirit, making sure they can get home. The employees of Spirit have special access to apply for jobs with other American airlines. So again, I've stepped in, worked with the CEOs, and again, this could have been chaotic. And under this administration, President Trump's leadership, there isn't chaos. There is actually a unified American approach to helping passengers and employees of Spirit navigate this crisis.
So, look, Alison, he's saying that those Spirit employees are going to have special access to apply for a job because obviously thousands of them now have lost their jobs over the weekend. What kind of economic impact could this have on the labor market?
Well, it is a lot of jobs. I think a lot of the Spirit employees, especially pilots, mechanics, will have a lot of opportunities at other airlines, will be in demand. But, it is a lot of people who will lose their jobs. And I think that's one of the reasons the administration was so interested in trying to save Spirit. But, Spirit is also a lot smaller than it used to be. It doesn't play the same role kind of in air travel as it once did. So I think, that's one reason that a lot of other industry officials were sort of arguing against bailing it out.
Okay, Alison Sider, thank you. Appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.